Okay, Vince, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about your product and how a financial advisor could benefit from it?
Yeah, so thank you, Bill. So my name is Vince Dodona. I'm a 44-year veteran of the financial services business. I have a practice in the high wealth and estate planning business, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm talking about a financial technology company that I co-own with my partner, Dave Mozica. And what we've built is arguably the only tool that's available that helps clients save money. And they do it without disintermediating the advisor. I think one of the things, Bill, that I've seen over the last decade, I guess, is all those little millennial propeller heads that are developing software are developing specifically to eliminate the human advisor.
Uh-huh.
The robo world actually is about eliminating the human advisor. And the reality is that people need humans to talk to them and coach them and help them because technology, I don't know if AI will ever get there, but that very AI that might get there is the type that's like Skynet and the Matrix. So
Yeah, let's not go there.
who knows what that's going to
Let's
look
not
like
imagine
one
even
day.
imagine that right now. Okay.
That would be bad.
Okay.
So several years ago, maybe actually probably closer to 15 years ago, my partner discovered that the impediment to savings is actually the direction of cash flow. Like we're all trained the moment we get a job to deposit our paycheck into our bill pay accounts, our checking accounts. And since spending or money is largely associated with the limbic system, the early brain, we are predetermined to spend our money. And so the evidence that that's true is that if you went to, let's say, the Fred website, which is the St. Louis Federal Reserve website, and pulled up the savings graph, you would discover that Americans are saving about 4% of gross income, which isn't going to get anybody anywhere.
Right.
Matter of fact, the only solution, if that were continuing to be true, would be government intervention, which would probably make it worse, actually. So what Dave discovered was that if he put an intermediary account in between the income sources and the consumption account, we called it the reservoir. It was bolted together, and the client made a choice about the amount of money that would go into his bill pay accounts. What happened naturally over time is that the reservoir would accumulate money well in excess of any reserves that we needed to just take out any possible risk like unemployment or things like that. So,
Right.
so, so the natural effect is that savings go up. And the empirical evidence, we have the data, our clients, about 10,000 people right now, are saving an average of 30%, a little bit more than 30% of after-tax cash flow, which is quite the departure from the average American.
It's amazing. So
It's beyond amazing.
it's amazing. So then the advisor can help them invest it. I'm assuming that's kind of
Yes,
the
the
point.
advisor has total
Yeah.
visibility
Right.
into the savings elements. The
Yeah.
client controls everything. It's
Right.
just that behavioral interrupt,
Mm-hmm.
as our COO says, it's like putting a speed bump on the road. So the effect is that structure actually slows consumption, and good things happen when consumption is slowed. It's not like we're not. It's not like people aren't increasing their consumption over time. They do. They're
Yeah.
just not increasing it randomly.
At the same rate, random.
Yeah.
Right. Because
So
if they did want to go into the reservoir, they would have to take the effort to do that. So
that
that's
is
just one
correct.
extra step that might stop them from that, right?
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Kind of gives them a
And
bit of a
so
pause, right? Yeah.
and so we have approvals at a good number of insurance companies, a good number of broker dealers and RIAs, and we're really just getting started. A few hundred advisors, thousands of clients in it, outcomes that are not to be believed. And our advisors are doing more investment business, more life insurance business, the stuff that actually is going to assure good futures and good outcomes for these individuals.
Right. Right.
In a future conversation, I could demonstrate a case study where you'd see somebody who'd never saved a dime in their life, makes good income.
Yeah.
Starting with $10 in the reservoir is actually now saving at the rate of somewhere between 40, I don't remember the numbers exactly, but it's between $40,000 and $60,000 a year. And in a more extreme example that I know is true, Dave has orthopedic surgeons that he picked up out of residency, I believe, or out of fellowship, and they actually make well over $1 million and are still living on $180,000 a year.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah.
It is amazing. Now, what that does is it allows people to accumulate the money necessary in order to stop working. And it's always nicer to stop work when you could choose to do so, as opposed to like waiting for old age for sure, right?
Yeah.
Where you have to. And a lot of people in professions, even like ours, are forced to work because they haven't accumulated and saved the money that they needed to get out. So it's always nice to be in a state of choice. So you're in a state of choice about savings, you're in a state of choice about the way your life goes. That's all pretty big deal stuff.
Okay, so if a financial advisor wants to offer this to his clients, so what's the process for that?
The easiest,
how do you get that set up?
The easiest thing for them to do is to reach out to me on my Currence. By the way, it's called Currence, Currence, and it would be vdodona at livecurrence. You can post that, vdodona at livecurrence.com. That's the Currence email address. That's the easiest way to reach me to talk about this and maybe do an introduction for your firm. There is a cost to the advisor. I have a discount coupon for anybody who talks to me, and there's a small charge for clients, but it's de minimis relative to the effect that it produces.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well that's fantastic. So is there any last thing you want to tell people about this, just to get them interested?
I've been doing this for 44 years, and this is probably one of the most amazing technologies I've ever seen. I'm very blessed to be involved in it. Everywhere we go, we show it to firms, insurance companies. They go, we want that. And because of the nature of the way it's designed, it usually passes compliance fairly easily. And sadly, we are not in Canada, so your Canadian listeners or audience will not be able to do this yet. It's on the dev list.
But it'll be coming.
Yeah,
sure. It's going to be global, I can say already. Yeah.
I think that's possible.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Okay, so I really encourage everyone that's listening to this to get a hold of Vince, find out more about it, and get your clients hooked up to it. So thank you.